Behzad Hezarkhani. I'm the MBA director at University of Southampton Business School. I'm also a professor of operations management there. At the moment, we have the full-time MBA, but we are launching the Global Executive MBA next year. So our focus for the moment is on the full-time MBA, which is running for 1 year. The MBA started as a generalist management kind of a skill set program, but we think that given the changes in the business environment, given the new technologies and the new perspective on business, there is the need for having more focused education, because the context that our graduates are going to work in and lead in are very different. So that's why we have 6 pathways for our MBAs. So we have the generalist, which gives a well-rounded education about almost the necessary skills that are needed for the MBA. But we also have entrepreneurship, fintech, analytics, maritime, and project management pathways. And these are the areas that we think there is a need for students to get a more in-depth knowledge. For example, if you consider the analytics, there is so much emphasis on analytics in business today, and we cannot allow the leaders not to be aware of the capabilities of AI and analytics. So that's why we give our students more focused education so that they can cope and understand and lead through the changes in the new world. And analytics is that we do not want our students to necessarily do the analytics, but we believe leaders of tomorrow need to understand the capabilities that analytics bring about so that they can use them to their advantage in their careers. If you are determined before you start your program that I want to do a focused MBA on project management, then you can start applying for that program and for that pathway directly. Otherwise, you can start and then decide to move to one of our focused pathways. So throughout our MBA, there are several opportunities for our students to practice what they've been learning. And it involves, for example, an industry visit tour that we run every year about in December to take our students to businesses to see and observe in real time how different sectors run. The second opportunity is for us to invite companies for them so that they can work with those companies for their final projects. Every year we invite industries to come and pitch problems to our students who can then work with those companies on those challenges within their business project module, which is the final module in the dissertation module. And also we have a series of speakers coming to us and we work with the students. So every cohort is different. So from the beginning of the semester 1, we would work with the students to understand which companies and which areas are more specifically interesting for our students. So we bring in companies that are matched with our cohort's skills and requirements. Southampton is a very interesting city historically and also in modern times. Southampton, first of all, is a port city and one of the major entries into the UK and outside of the UK. So that gives us an edge in our speciality in maritime logistics, because we are a logistics city, we are a maritime city. And that works across our university. Not only we have a strong program on MBA in logistics and maritime, we have a very strong background on maritime research and education across the university. For example, our maritime law department is a very active and famous department in our school globally. So we leverage that organization identity and that historical narrative that we have to help our students to better gain skills that they require. Although the programs and pathways are open to everybody, it makes more sense for our student to come with some basic knowledge of the field. Remember, MBA is a kind of education that builds on top of the current experience of our students. So that's the best way to use an MBA. The MBA is best strategically fit with someone who has experience in one field and wants to gain extra layer of knowledge that push them up in their career in that field. Although, if someone is coming from a different background and wants to generally understand more about business and management, a generalist pathway would equip them with sufficient skills to have a well-rounded understanding of all aspects of business. We recently have invested a lot in our facilities to make sure that the students' experience at our MBA is top-notch. So we developed locations and facilities specific for our MBAs where they can always be present in one space. It's a very modern and it's a very exciting space, so help them focus on what they're doing and have an executive feeling about where they're studying, because these people, our students, have that kind of experience that they've been going to their offices and working, for a long time, and our setup is very similar to that. Our students have a dedicated study space, they have the dedicated meeting rooms, and that's, I think, that would give them a better environment that they can settle in and focus on their studies.